Hi, it's Claire, your intuitive reader. Am I reading your story? Let's find out. If you're new to the channel, hey, welcome back. It's been a while. If you've never been here before, welcome, and you're just seeing me. And I hope you stay for the story. I do tarot readings, but I'm also an intuitive reader. I pick up on signs and synchronicities, messages from spirit guides, the divine, just things I see, and coincidences that always seem to pop up in my life. So what I'm getting for you guys, the story today is, and my nails look awful, they keep breaking, is that the time to pick your side has come. It is time. You've reached the point in your story. This is a huge saga that you guys have been going through. It's now the time where you're in the perilous realm. You're in that space where you're going into the underworld. You know, things have come to a head. There's no way forward except through the underworld. And in the underworld, our own personal underworlds, they're not of Tolkien or, the Lord of the Rings or anything like that. They are things like running up against issues that you have from your core, from your childhood. Like everybody will be like, I healed everything. You have not, because our parents are woven into us. They are not a cord we can just cut. They are something that we have to dissect and go back and untangle from the very beginning. Things that are coming up about, schooling, work, things from such a young age of best friends, of being alone. Some people didn't have best friends or didn't interact with others or only interacted with adults or, didn't have access to things that resonated with them. So going back, you guys are now at the point in your journey that you have to be in this perilous realm where things are going to come up. It's going to feel awful. It's going to be scary. And these are the places in your life where you go, I'm going to choose to go to the light, or I'm going to choose to go down the path of the dark. It really is at the point where you, I got so many cards, but I got, this is the King of Wands in this deck is Anubis. And so I looked it up, and Anubis is the god of the underworld, is like taking you through to that side. So this is coming up. And then after that, the Page of Pentacles, who is Baron Samedi, who I looked up, again, about death, about going through, about the tombs, about the funeral process, about the passing over, the going through. And then you got death. Like, those were the three cards that came out, which I was like, wow, that is very clear that you are going through a process of things have ended. They've come to a place where you do not resonate with what's going on in your life, and you're going to have to make a decision now. The time for being indecisive is over. It's not possible anymore. You really must choose to stand in the light and go in that path or you must go to the path of the dark. And if you don't make a decision, the decision will be to go to the path of the dark. Inaction, staying in one place and refusing to make a decision is a decision. And if you've never been here, I'm not usually like this serious and stuff, but these messages are very serious. You are connected to other realms, and now you're waking up to that. You're seeing that you need to be in a place where you can go and think about how you want to proceed, because this is a very important move. You also got then the Six of Wands, which in this deck is Gollum. And I found that very interesting because this is about choosing oneself at the expense of every single thing. The dark path. In Tolkien's story, Gollum was so obsessed with the ring that all he could obsess about was the ring. The ring was his own downfall, but it was also going into his ego. I must possess the ring. I must possess this. I also looked it up. It meant something else. But what I see with this is like, you know, you may be holding on to something that feels like it's the answer, like, and you're hiding it away, and you're hiding that you have this drive to go within and only think about yourself. But that will lead you in this perilous realm, in this decision making as you go through the underworld. If you choose to continue to be Gollum in this situation, you won't make it out of this. You will become the necromancer, like controlled by the necromancer. You will turn from being yourself to being controlled by others around you, because these are both also wands, and this is saying, this is like you're in energy, Page of Wands, in this kind of energy of being immature in the way that you're choosing the dark side. Like, there is a choice that has to be made here. And if you are controlled by yourself, your internal ego, you're easily controlled. You will become a puppet to whatever side you choose. Like, if you choose the light, of course, you're going to have your own free will. That is the choice here. You have free will. You're walking the perilous path right now, where you are choosing which direction you will go. And, you know, what also came up was the Eight of Wands, which is the Hydra in this. And I wanted to look up to make sure I knew exactly what Hydra was. And it was interesting because, yes, it's a mythical creature, but they named a type of polyp in the sea Hydra, because it never ages. It doesn't die of old age. And if you cut off part of it, it grows back. It also releases an adhesive fluid. And so in doing that, it holds stuff to it. It's like it attaches itself to you. So if you cut off, if you think you can just cut off part of yourself, it'll just grow back, and it's stuck to you. So you have to deal with it. Like, this is telling me that it's like you're thinking that, you know, oh, I can just cut off this part. I can just cut off this memory. I can just cut off this relationship, this connection. And what this is saying to me is, no, it is literally adhered to you. It is like that weave I was talking about, that braid that we have to our past. We must go in there and deal with it, because it will never die. We cannot just cut off part of our memory or part of our issues. It just will never disappear. What I thought was really interesting was underneath the Page of Wands, which was the necromancer, was the Inquisitor, and what was under Hydra was the Lovers. And what this told me was that, let me make sure I can show her. Oh, good, they put a little bikini on her. What this is telling me is that, like I was saying, if you do not stand and look and go through this perilous realm and really deal with all that's going on and put an end to it and come out the other side, not cheat it by trying to cut part of it out or cut corners, or not go through something because it's painful, or it will make you feel like you're scared, or you're gonna die. I mean, like this fear of death, that if you face these things, you can't survive them. That's a choice to go down the dark side, because you can't live in the light if you're hiding from seeing what's going on in your life. And to me, this is showing like you're also very vulnerable to being manipulated through people showing you love, because you're not showing yourself love. And that's funny I say that, because you also got the self-love card. Where is it? Let me see. Oh, here we go. You got the self-love card. So this is saying to me, if you do not start showing yourself self-love, being that person to yourself, you're easily controlled and people can manipulate you. They can turn your wheel of fortune because they'll just use love as a form of control. So when you love yourself, you don't need that. Like, it no longer becomes necessary to be dependent on someone else's love because you love yourself. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's like, wow. All my watching Harry Potter movies is really coming in handy. So this is interesting. So it's the Nine of Swords, which is, you know, a pretty like intense card. And this is the Basilisk. And I could be totally getting this wrong because I haven't seen Harry Potter in years. But the Basilisk, I remember being something about like stuck or like pretending to be something. But I could be totally wrong because what I'm seeing here is this. Yeah, it's like like here. Oh my gosh. Okay. See, here's the cord that I keep talking about, and he's cut it. So he's cutting the cord. He's doing battle and cutting the cord between this predatory bird. It could be anything in your life that is really holding on to you, because all the things you're going through about your past are actually, they've already happened. They're, you know, you're remembering them. You're attaching an emotion to a memory when actually you could cut this and be like, and I know I said don't cut off parts of yourself, and I'm saying not that, but he's done battle. So he severed this because he did battle. He had to scare this thing away. So he or she, just, you know, it's tarot, so no gender. So this is saying, like, break free. Stand your ground. You know, and you can do that when you do self-love. I mean, that's really important here. Like, stand your ground, self-love. They're facing each other. Like, you can still have that tenderness and that love, but give it to yourself. Those emotions run deep. We had to learn to dislike ourselves and not love ourselves. When we were younger, we loved ourselves until somebody decided to break that. Because when you love yourself, you will always be the eternal child. You know, just like those polyps, they don't ever get old, because when you have self-love, you don't. It's like the fountain of youth. That is alchemy. Like, people are not realizing that the alchemy happens within ourselves. Like, even the stories about, I've heard like weird stories about alchemists, or the theory of alchemy, like you're supposed to take your urine and distill it and for like a year and make some disgusting thing and then eat it, which is really disgusting. You could also see it as the body is the vessel, is the alchemization. And we, if they are talking about urine, it would mean making sure your body is so pure, like is resonating so high that the impurities are no longer in you, and that you actually alchemize eternal youth. Yeah, I think it's so much writing is interpretive. It's a parable. So much writing. Most people's stories are parables because they're trying to equate a feeling they had or an experience that they want to convey, and they use emotions and they use storytelling to create the picture. And people take it literally, but I can guarantee you that most of that stuff is not literal. So think about it like that. We are the vessel. We alchemize. We have a furnace. We have all these things. So maybe the purity is within ourselves. When we are pure of heart, when we, have our heart weighed against on the scales. I forget who that is, but I think that relates to him. You know, your heart gets weighed against a feather, and it's not that you have to do everything right. That's actually the opposite. That is ego. But you are instead alchemizing your energy to its purest form. And with that, it creates So I don't know if I'm making sense to anyone, but what I see is like you're starting to forgive yourself. What you're seeing is the key to the alchemy, to the manifestation. And this youthful energy is emerging. Like I was talking about, like I know I don't usually talk about like, oh, you'll look younger, but it seems important to people because our outward appearance is a manifestation of how we're feeling internally. Like, yeah, we can look beautiful and stuff, but if we look tired or, have all these issues, it really does compromise how we appear. And so, yeah, what I'm kind of seeing is if you forgive yourself, you'll manifest and you will just naturally become younger looking. You will become you will glow. I've known, really old people like, 80s, 90s in upward, and some of them they just like radiate youth. I think that's what we have to understand. It's all in the perspective. And maybe that's why we can't find this wonderful, magical, fountain of youth or this perfect way to alchemize urine into gold. Yeah, I'm like, maybe the gold is the actual like manifestation within our bodies. We can create if we are actually living that alchemized energy. So, and then you got water, which is number 18 for synchronicities. People love those. Divine masculine, number 2, 02. And full moon, 29. So this to me is like, this is great. So because water is characterized here as would be feminine energy. This would be emotions. This would be being in touch with your emotions. But I think it's easier to feel like, oh yeah, water runs, it does all these things. It is, we cry or we sweat or we do these things, animals do the same thing. So water is a signifier of creative, feminine energy. And then we have the divine masculine. So here, what I feel is going on is this balance as the full moon, and I don't remember what it's in. I'm behind on my studies. The full moon that's coming in on the 15th of November. In this time, it's very important as you go into this perilous realm that you have your feminine and masculine energies very balanced. If you've watched any movies, we talked about The Lord of the Rings. You have to be true of heart. It's not about what you say. It's really about what your intentions are. It's not even about what you do. It's about your intentions. So being pure of heart, you're not going to be able to trick the underworld. This perilous realm you're going in, and I normally don't get this metaphysical with you guys, but what I truly believe is that you guys are connected to other realms. And I said that earlier. And there's, this is going to be a lot. So I got some numbers too. I got 24 and then 25 right after each other. And then 41 and 42 right after each other. And then I got 34 and 43. So those are mirror of each other. I thought that was really interesting that, so with the 34 and the 43, these are the ones I'm saying are mirroring each other. It's capacity to love and innocence. So your capacity to love is based on how innocent you can be in the situation. Are you really tapping into a pure of heart, completely open? Are you holding back? Because it will affect the capacity to love here. So it's kind of like, do you have any clogs in the pipe from your gas tank? Like if you've got buildup in your gas tank, I don't know how that happens, but whatever, maybe you use the wrong kind of gas, or maybe you were not keeping the cap on. You were just not taking care of the car. And so now the connection is kind of gunked up. So this is saying the amount you can love is directly impacted, a mirror of the innocence that you're bringing forth, the openness. If there's a clear line from you to source, from you to the people around you, the animals around you, nature, the world, if that is just an open channel where only love goes because it's a resonance, if you are truly feeling that and embodying that, when you go through the perilous underworld, which is your next stage in this journey, you will make it out because you will see the light in every situation. But you're having to make sure that your energy is very balanced. And so, like I said, I got the 41 and 42, and this says, Great Central Sun, unity. Become aware of ideas, consciousness, and existence beyond the known. Like, you're waking up, and there's no, I mean, I get the feeling. Okay, but anyway, so then the next stage is 42, chakra balance, peace. Through energy, breath, and balance emerges the greatest sense of peace. These are coming after one after the other. When you feel, when you truly accept that everything is connected, that you are a part of something bigger than you are letting yourself believe. You're doubting yourself. Your whole life has been spent with, oh, I see things differently. I just saw something weird. I heard something that other people don't hear. Or, you know, everybody's acting like this is normal when it comes across like, whoa, I see things that people don't. I put connections. I have coincidences. I see number patterns or symmetries with things. And you're realizing it's all connected. And when you do, it's kind of like, oh, a death to your reality. So the foundation of who you are. This says 40, which is, I don't know why it says 40. I don't even know if that's what it says, but to me it says 40. So 4, this is a death to the foundation of who you think you are. Because once you release these limitations and you're living in balance with everything being connected, it can be a little mind-blowing. There are people that have gone a little crazy when they realize how much we are actually connected to every single thing, and that we are all just molecules or neuron, whatever it is, you know, all together, with everything, like every planet, we're connected to everything, every single thing. We're connected to every person, animal. Like, so if you hate someone, you are hating yourself. You can be angry about their behavior. You can say that is lost energy. It is lost. It went into the perilous realm and it chose the dark path, and now it's lost. So no matter what it's doing, it may seem evil, but it's actually stumbling around in the dark, unable to see a way forward or backward or anywhere. It's stumbling along in the dark, and you now see everything connected. And this is bringing you a balance. Like, you have balance, and then you see the connection. You see the connection, and you have balance. They go hand in hand. We are connected to this earth. We are connected to everything. And we are connected to everything that is now, was, will be. It's all happening at once. The water that we drink are in, you can't help but have water connected to us because we are water. All the water within our bodies, everything has been around since the beginning and will be here till the end, circulating over and over again. So if you're a germaphobe, that probably was very uncomfortable, but it is, from what I've seen, very true. Let's see. Oh, and then, so I also picked some other cards. Like I said, I picked so many cards. You got the Sustainer, which was where I got the number 25 and 24, and the Healer. And so I thought this was interesting because you got the Sustainer and then you got the Healer, which they come one and then the other. Like, everything's coming in sequence. So when you realize that you are the one, this looks like our Earth again. I thought we had a picture of Earth. No, we don't. Wait, where's that card? Well, anyway, so I'm going to use the Moon here. So see how your energy is creating everything in your reality because it's based on your perception. So when you, and with that, you can become the healer. See, you're sculpting this and then you're protecting it. It's 3-headed. Oh my gosh, I just saw that, just like Hydra. It's the multi-headed serpent. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So using this rejuvenation and creating and sustaining is turning you into the healer. You are the healer. It goes hand in hand. You are creating the world and then nurturing it and sustaining it. So what I see behind these is the mystic. So you become the healer and the mystic. And under here is the flame. So you have this great flame, and it is driving from even a finite point. This flame is so strong that it's like a kiln. So like you're molding and shaping your reality, and then your flame is hardening it into your resolve, into who you are, bringing out the healer and the mystic within you. I just love this because I see the flame and this mystic as very similar. This flame of who you are is driving your alchemy. So as you go into the underworld, as you come across these tests, as you come across these very scary things, I want you to remember that you are the creator. So anything that you see, like, think of it like a movie. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so like we watch scary movies and we know we like them because they're not real. Your retelling of past traumas is actually just a movie. It's a movie you've created. Just a second. Hey, Roxy, hi. My little dog's behind me. There she is. I just want to get her attention. You are the creator of your world. So when you're having these, they can be intense. They can be flashbacks. They can feel like they are happening to you right now because of trauma that you've had. Like you cannot make a decision for yourself. Like you cannot move forward as yourself. I want you to remember, just like you do with a scary movie or, a comic book show, like one of Cloak and Dagger. I can't think of anything else right now. Daredevil. They're violent. They have death. They have fear. They have all these things. What's great about them is they're not real. And so if you remember that your memories, these movies you're playing on in your head that are like, oh my God, but it happened when you were 4. So it's not really happening to you right now. So you can look at it objectively, pull back, and then be like, oh, okay. I can actually affect this now. I can actually step in and be like to that little kid, I love you though. Or, oh, you need some space like from this person. This person's invading your boundaries. Now you can reparent yourself in the perilous realm. If you're coming from a loving place and you really see things from a perspective of it is not going to kill you. It will feel like it though. Yeah, I'm sorry, it will. It will feel like you can't make it out. So look for signposts that are you in reality in the moment where you're going through these things. When you go through the perilous realm and you feel like you can't move on and you can't choose the light because the brightness is blinding you. Remember, you can adjust the light. You can turn it down. Maybe that's a little too much. You can slow down the flow. But if you stop or if you go into the dark, that's your decision. This is your world. So, wow, this was an incredible story. Because I also got, under all these, I got the Destroyer. So and this is 23. I mean, yeah. So what's funny about this is I got 24 and 25. And before this, I kept getting the Destroyer. Like, you don't see, because you're focused on this, and like you can't see clearly what it is, that you can destroy your own world. It's up to you. You are the creator and the destroyer of your world. What world do you want? It's really up to you. I want to say that I love you guys, that I'm here. And if this was your story, I mean, I get that it's most people's stories right now. We are going through a perilous time. We've had activations. We had 4 supermoons in a row. That's insane. We had portals opening. We had, you know, just or weather phenomenons that are just out of this world. Things are happening in our environment, in our energy, solar flares. Things are moving. And what we have to do is deal with it, deal with our fears, and always choose to walk in the light. That's why I created this community. I have chosen to walk in the light. Sometimes it's awful. Sometimes it is not fun it's actually not fun most of the time to have to always stand in the light, to have to always be honest, to have to always, you know, make the hard choices. But I don't want to ever, I've been in the dark place before. I've made bad decisions that are led me to a place that was bad, where I didn't know which way was up or down. I could not see the light anymore. And I had to stop, recollect myself, my energy, and look for that teeny tiny light that we all have. And I stoked it, and I took care of myself. And you can do that too. I really love you guys. This is a long one. And I hope you enjoyed the story. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on the little notification, and I will be live just as soon as I'm up to it. I might even be live tomorrow. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So I love you guys. Bye.